from Oak Creek High School. Welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown on WSN. Tonight, a clash in the Southeast Conference featuring the Franklin Sabres and the Oak Creek Knights. These two schools are only 4.4 miles apart, and every year since 1963, they have played in this, the Helmet Trophy game. The Sabres and Knights renew their rivalry once again in 2023. Hi, everybody. Bob Brainerd, along with my partner, the Hall of Fame coach, Dan Brunner. It's a rivalry, Dan, that's a healthy rivalry because these kids are so close. They grew up together.
Yep.
It's a football game they look forward to each and every year.
Yeah, and it's a competitive game each and every year. And as you said, Bob, 4.4 miles apart. There are kids that live closer to Franklin High School and go to Oak Creek. So that's how close and friendly rivalry it is. These kids have grown up together.
Tell you what, these two teams always get after it. And tonight, Dan, we may see the defenses really dictate the tone of this football game. For Franklin, they've got a kid who goes both ways on the line, and he is disruptive in both places. Yeah,
Jace Miller, he will jump out at you on film. He controls the line of scrimmage. And just to show you how dominant he is, this is a talented Franklin team, and he goes both ways.
For Oak Creek, it's a terrific defense that has really held their opponents in check. They've only given up 18 total points, 15 of those in a loss to Muskego, and one of the guys over there helps dictate and run the show on D.
Yeah, honorable mention, All-State linebacker Drew Brom. He's committed to South Dakota State. He's a beast in that linebacking core.
The Helmet Trophy game one more time here between Franklin and Oak Creek. We get it going here on a Thursday night. The Throwdown is next. Kickoff is next.
I love living in Kewanee, Wisconsin because the skies are blue, smell of the fresh green grass. It's just a beautiful place to live. I love it. You love your animals, you love what you're doing, you love everything about farming, and you want to carry on those traditions.
These guys are ready to go. Feel it in the end zone for the touchback. Gabe Belter, chomping at the bit, can't wait to get after it. Oak Creek will get their hands on the football first, and sophomore quarterback Isaiah Angeles leads them out, Dan. This is a kid who took over the quarterback spot from Cade Palkowski, who would have been a 4-year starter. We'll talk more about that backstory as the season unfolds, but the bottom line with this sophomore kid is that he's getting better and better and more comfortable each and every week.
Yeah, they simplified the playbook for him a little bit, but now every week, like you said, Bob, they're adding more to it.
From the 20-yard line, Angeles, little swing pass, out it goes. But the defense, we told you how it's going to dictate things tonight, and they dictated it there. Braden Rohde, the receiver, but a gain of only 1.
Yeah, this could be a defensive battle. You know, Franklin probably has a more explosive offense, but Oak Creek has just a stifling defense.
From the 21-yard line, 2nd down and 9 for the Knights. Jackson Phelps, he's number 5. You see him there in the backfield. Led the conference in rushing a year ago. And they give it to Phelps. Big hole up the gut. First down, up and over and past the 30-yard line.
Nothing fancy here, just a quick hitter off a right guard. They pull the left guard around, gets past the second level, and fortunately the defense, Dominic Walters, their sophomore safety, made a touchdown-saving tackle.
Phelps last year, 1,235 yards rushing, 16 rushing touchdowns. He's got 8 scores already this year. He gets the football once again, trying to bounce, and then lasso and corral and throw down at the 36-yard line. Phelps also starting safety in the defense. Not many players at Oak Creek go both ways, but this kid is good enough to go both ways.
Yeah, and as his coach said, he's a beast. intense, hard to bring down.
2nd down and 6 from the 36. Angeles, dual threat QB. He'll take off when he needs to. Throws here. And incomplete, dropped by Braden Rohde, one of their talented receiving core. They'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Rohde's also a terrific baseball player here at Oak Creek. They got a lot of those. Scott Holler, the athletic director / head baseball coach, has a lot of his guys on the field tonight.
Yeah, and we're seeing the connection between Angeles and Rohde is evolving. I mean, he had a natural connection with Palkowski.
3rd and 6 for the Knights. They keep it on the ground, but nothing there.
Oh, Miller. And those talented linebackers.
Tegan Fox in there, Miller, all kinds of white shirts. Brings up 4th down. And forced to punt is Oak Creek. Benny Heiselou will do the honors to boot the football. Deep, waiting for it. Terrence Shelton. You'll see him in the backfield shortly. This one high in the sky. Shelton calls for the fair catch, makes it to the 31-yard line, and the Sabres offense will take the field. And Shelton, well, you saw him field it. Now you're going to see him run with the football. One of the best in the state, a Buffalo University commit. This kid, his coaches say, probably the best running back they've ever had at Franklin.
Yeah, and that's a mouthful. They've had some good ones. But Shelton, I mean, he's got it all. He's got size, speed, toughness.
There's Shelton and his quarterback, the junior Joey Calais, who got his feet wet a season ago as a sophomore, now getting more and more comfortable in the pocket he had all day.
Oh, man.
But nothing downfield. That's a coverage sack.
Yes.
Because the secondary was so good, and the linebacker core. This is a great linebacking core that Oak Creek has. They are very stingy.
Yeah, Andrew Heumann ended up being the outlet that he finally went to, but he was well covered. Great protection by that Franklin line as well as Shelton, but nowhere to go with the ball.
The linebackers for the Knights, Brom, Brady Gooley, Sean Bakke, Andrew Trzynski. From the shotgun, Calais dumps it off to Shelton, and he's met and brought down by Trzynski.
Yeah, 2-year starter Trzynski just squared him up. You'll see right here, just a textbook tackle. Wasn't his first choice, but he got it to him. Oh, it was a textbook tackle.
They give up 4. They force 3rd down and 6. Shelton stays in the backfield, flanked to the left of Calais. And whistles and timeout called by Lewis Brown. His offensive coordinator, Drew Ambrose. I think they wanted some guys in motion, didn't get it, so they'll huddle up here on a key 3rd and 6.
Yeah, misaligned, and rather than take that penalty, that was a well-advised timeout.
You mentioned that Calais started as a sophomore a year ago, got the feet wet as the QB of the Franklin Sabres. Now as a junior, he's taken those lessons learned in 2022, and really, as the story goes in Franklin, as the quarterback goes, that's how our football team goes. We've seen some real good ones over the year at the controls of the Sabres, and no different with Joey Calais. Need him to be sharp, need him to pick up the 1st down here. Gonna roll, square up and fire, and it's caught into Oak Creek territory at the 46-yard line. 1st down. Jocks Brooks with the reception.
He's a good one. And you could see this play developing as you see on the replay. And here's one of the trademarks of Calais. He throws the ball well on the run, and he did there.
Brooks, big catch there. More to come. But a first down for the Sabres at the 47. To the ground, Shelton with a burst. Sidesteps the linebackers. And then refuses to go down. Picks up the first down, 36-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see on this replay. Just this subtle little jump cut as he gets downfield. Makes a guy miss. Able to pick up another 2-3 yards.
Shelton, a three-sport athlete at Franklin, plays basketball, runs track. He's good at all three. I know that you talked to Lewis Brown. He said he could play. I mean, he's going to a MAC school, but he could play at a higher Division I program. But Buffalo it is. Calais in the pocket. Brooks again, close to a first down. Number one in heavy traffic, makes the catch.
Yeah, again, good protection. Calais just hung in the pocket well. Found Brooks, good route runner, good hands.
Pickup of 8, second down and 2. Calais. Caught!
Oh.
Touchdown, Franklin!
Wow, he put that on the money.
Dylan Drakowski, his 4th TD grab of the season, and the Sabres draw first blood.
Yeah, he's really distributing the ball well. Good protection. Look how he hangs in the pocket. Puts the ball right where he needed to, in between two defenders.
Nice throw. Nice catch. 10th touchdown toss of the season for Calais. The extra point is through, and the Sabres on the road, all of 4.4 miles away, but nevertheless, they lead it early here, 7-0.
Yeah, Cooper Mueller hasn't missed a kick this year.
Another look, Dan.
Yeah, good protection, and look at that touch on that pass. Fitted in really nice.
Right between Rhodey and Jay Bryant in that secondary. And the connection for 6+. And Franklin leads it. You couldn't see when Dan and I did the open, but on the Helmet Game trophy there, they have a plaque for each score from each year. It stayed with Oak Creek during the offseason because the Knights won the contest last year 35-7.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great rivalry game, and as we said in the open, it's not like it's a weak, it's a strong rivalry, but it's a well-respected one.
Yeah, it's not nasty.
Yeah.
Both coaches say, no, it's, again, as Dan said, these kids live too close to make it nasty and make it personal. Bryant has to watch it sail in and out of the end zone again for the touchback. So the Knights offense back out there. So Isaiah Angelis, again, the sophomore who inherited the job from Cade Palkowski. Palkowski would have been the quarterback for the 4th straight year here. He's a terrific athlete, one of the best they've ever had. But he's all his passion, his best sport is baseball. He's a commit for the Tar Heels to play baseball at North Carolina. Angelis, though, growing and gelling, throwing, and tipped away at the last second. Dangerous throw there. Dominic Walters in the passing lane.
Yeah, we see that talented sophomore. We'll see right here. He's watching the quarterback's eyes. He jumps the route, almost gets himself a pick six. They're saying before he's done at Franklin, he'll end up being the best defensive back they've ever had.
How about that?
Man.
Again, whenever you toss those accolades around like We mentioned Shelton. Been some really good ones to come out of that Franklin program, so saying something. 2nd down and 10 at the 20. Angelus in the shotgun. Look out. Ball in the rock. Nope, incomplete. They said it was a pass. When you flip it up in the air, if you don't catch it, it just goes down as incomplete. And good thing for Oak Creek that it was.
Yeah, we'll see on the replay here. Made the mistake, and he'll learn, he's only a sophomore, of tossing the ball up rather than just laying it out in front of him.
Yeah, it was intended, if you will, for Tanu Singh. So Angelus back to work here, and work to do on 3rd down and 10. Drops back.
Miller.
Then goes down. It's Miller time again.
Man. Well, he jumps out at you on film. You can see right here, he beats the center guard. Angelus has no time to set up, nowhere to go.
Coach's kid, his dad, Jesse, used to be the coach, one of the coaches at Franklin, and a coordinator back in the day. He's a handful.
Yeah, his brother starts for the Warhawks at Whitewater.
Dan always gets a Whitewater reference in. You notice that? Shelton going to let this one bounce. It's a short kick, and then it bounces backwards. So Franklin going to get the football in ideal position. 27-yard line.
This is not the way the Knights wanted to start their night.
No, sir. But Mike back in there, huddling up. The offense, Drew Ambrose, the OC, upstairs here in the booth, and trying to dial up some plays here to give them a lightning quick lead. Already 7-0, looking for more. 1st and 10 at the 27. Calais had time, and now down he goes. There he is, Dan. Talked about it on the open. Drew Brom.
Drew Brom. Shot in, came in like he was shot out of a cannon. You can see him flying, beat some blocker up front. Just what the doctor ordered for that night defense.
He's a ball hawk, whether it's doing that or patrolling in the secondary. Leads this conference in tackles. Came in with 45.
That's a lot.
For week 6, you bet. 2nd and a bunch. Calais throws across the field. Little comebacker to Andrew Heumann. And Heumann gets him close here. Makes 3rd down more manageable.
Yeah, nice half roll to the right, throw back. Got his lineman out in front. Split end screen. Like you said, Bob, manageable now.
Yep, 3rd and 8 for the Sabres. Calais, as we have seen already, Dan, he throws really well on the run.
Yeah.
Very patient. Even that time on the sack, he was patient to hang in there and not lose the football. Trying to move the chains here after a short punt. And Oak Creek was bringing everybody. And somebody moved up front. Mike Brewer is the white cap to explain what happened.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 54. Contract penalty. Still 3rd down.
So that line, Dan, they saw all those blue jerseys get ready to jump the gun. And football was snapped a tad early. So back to the 30 it goes. Makes it 3rd down and 13. They keep Shelton in the backfield. Flank to the right of Calais. Rolling right. Throwing.
Oh,
catch! Is he in? Not in, but 1st and goal, Franklin. On another terrific hookup. Drakowski again. Has already got the TD catch tonight. Got him closer here, Dan.
Yeah, we see right here, just a sprint out, half roll the race, sets up, puts the ball right on the money. Not bad coverage at all. You had Jackson Phelps right there.
Boy, great angle right there. Just stepped out of bounds. Direct snap to Shelton. Why not? He'll power his way in for the touchdown. Cut the middleman out, Dan. Just give it right to number 30. He'll get it done, and he does. Shelton. His 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, Wildcat offense. Guys up front did a great job blocking for him. Ben Burgess, their tight end, been a key blocker all year long so far.
Whistling hankies again.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 13.
Oh, that's good. Ben Burgess.
Retry.
It's a little longer on the PAT try. This will turn into a 25-yard try. Try to keep his resume clean, and it is. 14-0 Sabres. So they take advantage of the short kick. Their defense has buttoned up Oak Creek here in quarter number 1, and their offense has responded both times. John Pearson joining us from the sidelines. Hello, John.
Hello there. And yeah, these guys know each other really well. They see each other all over town, but maybe there was even a little bit of gamesmanship in this one, as all they talked about all week was Shelton and running the ball. The way they have spread the wealth throughout the passing game. A sophomore quarterback's not supposed to be able to do this, but Dylan Drakowski really stepping up big. And by the way, Dylan is a part of a class at Franklin in construction too, where he and a group of students, along with Tim O'Brien Holmes, go and build an actual house as part of the curriculum for the class. Well, he built something pretty good tonight with a touchdown and the biggest catch of that drive.
I see what you did there, John, the building reference. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Quite the leg.
Yes.
Yeah. In and out of the end zone for the 3rd time tonight. So now Oak Creek need their offense to respond here, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Robert Hubba Hellendrung. He's the OC of this pistol power read. Easy for him to say.
Yeah, Hubba's kind of a legend in the Wisconsin high school coaching ranks, going all the way back to being a key assistant to Joe Cook.
Mike Bartholomew followed after Joe, and now Joel Parr in his 6th season as the head coach here at Oak Creek. They go direct snap, Wildcat to Phelps in the backfield. I believe it was Phelps. No, I beg your pardon. Angeles on the carry.
Yeah, thought he had something there. And I think it's Talon Summers wraps him up.
So minimal gain. 1, maybe 2. Maxwell Glynn in on the tackle as well. 2nd down and 9 for the Knights. There you see the sophomore. Coaching staff here at Oak Creek, they worked with him nonstop in August to get him ready to be on the big stage. Little screen. A screen that goes nowhere.
Wow.
Will Graffin with the punishment.
Coach says he's long and athletic, but he's got a nasty side to him. That was a nasty tackle.
And staff out, and you can see why while they got to take a look at him. Clean hit.
Good clean hit.
Wrap up, but never knew what hit him.
No. Yeah, let's hope it's just a wind knocked out.
We mentioned at the outset. And there have been times, Dan, over the years that this game, it's been a shootout because the offenses would each have so many weapons. And there's some weapons, and that's good to see.
Yep.
With Rhodey getting up and walking off on his own. But both these defenses in 2023, they will be tone setters in this game and the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're that good.
Yeah, these are two really good football teams. You know, one of the keys coaches alluded to was who's going to handle this electric atmosphere. I mean, it's a sellout crowd. It's a playoff atmosphere.
3rd down and 13 now. Give it to Phelps. And won't get the first down. Got to punt the football once again. So if the defense is going to set the tone in this football game, either side, Franklin, they have done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forcing the 3rd punt by Oak Creek tonight. And Joel Parr looking for answers here. Trying to slow down Franklin. Heiselou to boot the football. Knuckleball this time. Franklin backpedals.
Oh.
Thought about it.
Yeah.
Backs away. And down at the 29-yard line. Well, here comes the Sabre offense once again, already leading 14-0. Sabres come in undefeated at 5-0. Perfect in conference play. I mentioned Oak Creek, 4-1. Their lone loss came to Muskego, and they gave up just 15 points in that contest. The other 4 games, only 3 points have been allowed. So this is a little bit of a smack in the mouth here for this defense, but they knew it was coming against their rivals in the Franklin Sabres. Shelton. Big hole off the left side, first down run to the 41. Patient runner, finds the hole, then accelerates. Damage done.
Yeah, you'll see on the replay the patience you're talking about. Guys up front doing a nice job, getting a man on a man. Good tackle by Jackson Villarreal.
Out to the 42. Fresh set of downs for the Sabres. Steve Lucknick, defensive coordinator, looking on for Oak Creek. Shelton again. Tries the right side this time. Down he goes.
Yep, Drew Brom.
Wojciechowski in there as well. He and Brom get after it and get after Shelton.
These are two good DVs on the replay. You're getting hit by 6'1", 223 and 6'6", 270.
Wojciechowski also tight end on the offensive side, but yeah, Dan mentioned South Dakota State recruit, ball hawk. Brom's a beast. 2nd down and long now. Calais stepping up, throwing, and incomplete. Ben Vergis off his fingertips. Boy, number 7 just hangs in the pocket, Dan.
Yes,
really
yeah.
doesn't panic.
No, he does not panic at all. Those guys up front, Sebastian Lovano, Jake Picard, Tyson Shelton, that's the little brother of Terrence. Yeah, 6', 215 sophomore. He's at center. Then you got Jace Miller and Zach Anderson.
3rd and 14 for Franklin. Empty for Calais. Gonna take off and just skid to the 40-yard line. He was hopeful there'd be a big gaping hole, but when there wasn't, he just played it safe to live another day.
Yeah, that was a smart move on his part. Oak Creek defense was ready for that.
Cooper Mueller on the punt. Brock Peterson will be deep for the Knights. That is the end of the first quarter. Here in the OC, it's Franklin 14 and the Knights nothing. You're watching the Thursday Night Throwdown.
Farming is more than just a job because it demands so much of you. Every day I'm with the people that I care about the most. We accomplish or we fail together.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
Back here in Oak Creek. I can't see the student section because it's camouflaged.
Yeah. Is anyone there?
I don't know. Just bleachers. Well done. And well done by these two communities. As Dan mentioned, it's a sellout. Over 3,000 people expected for this high school football game. There is not a seat to be had. Luckily, you've tuned into the Thursday Night Throwdown. There's the Franklin kids. They're doing the whiteout. And there's the camel look. Nice job.
Yeah, great punt by Cooper Mueller. Pins him down on the 13-yard line.
So the offense returns for the Knights, looking to somehow move the football against this stingy Franklin defense. Trailing by a pair of touchdowns. Isaiah Angelis, the sophomore QB, on 1st and 10 from the 13. Give it to Phelps. Barrels ahead to the 16-yard line. Phelps on the carry. Nate Schaff is also in the running back mix. You'll see him get some carries to give Phelps a breather because he's going both ways, and when he needs a blow, then you'll see Schaff in there. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Here they come. Angelis rolls out of trouble, completes the pass. Max Hoagland on the reception. Gets them closer here. 3rd down and short, Dan.
Good protection on the outside, and just like we talked about Calais, Angelis shows the ability to throw on the move too.
Hoagland, just a sophomore. Part of that receiving core for the Knights, and they gave him the 1st down. So wrestle out of bounds right at the 23 to move the chains. Back to the ground, Phelps. Oh, runs into a wall. Sabres there en masse. Summers.
Yeah, Talon Summers.
Yep.
Man.
No gain if the number 2 gets in there quickly.
Yeah, you see the handoff and split the 2 blockers. Summers is one of their captains, started as a sophomore. He broke his ankle last year as a junior. Now he's back fully healthy again.
Making plays. 2nd down and 10. Early movement before the snap. Going to go against Oak Creek. Get to hear Mike Brewer again.
Prior to the snap, full start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So back to the 18 it goes for Oak Creek. See Drew Brom checking in. Seen him do some damage defensively. Line him up in the slot. That H-back position here on 2nd and 15. Trying to block and give Phelps an alley to maneuver. He gets some penalty yards back, but still uphill here. 3rd and 11 for Oak Creek.
Joseph on the stop. 3rd and 10 for the Knights.
They gave him 5 actually, so 3rd and 10 from the 23. Big 3rd down, Dan. Oak Creek just trying to get their offense moving forward here, and they need a spark here. Franklin defense not giving up much real estate so far in this first half. Tough sledding against this unit. Angeles.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right. It's Summers again.
Yeah.
He came in off the edge, Dan, and he was determined to get to the quarterback.
4th and long.
Yeah, he just blew off that edge. You can see on the replay here, you can see why he's got almost 50 tackles on the season. Oh, and that ball's on the ground.
Yeah. It was it was recovered by Phelps.
Wow.
So much traffic there. Oak Creek recovers, but still punting from the end zone. Heisalu again. This one a line drive knuckler again. And down to the 39-yard line.
Yeah.
Franklin again. Great field position. Up by 2 scores. And the offense back in the field again, looking for more.
Yeah, and like you said, Bob, Oak Creek's just trying to get something together offensively. Most importantly, to keep their defense off the field. It's a lot easier to play offense when things are going good than to try and play defense when things are going bad.
Absolutely. Calais, 1st and 10 from the 39. Shelton behind him. Give the ball to Shelton with a burst.
Oh, nice cut.
24-yard line. They finally bring Terrence down. But again, you'll see the pitter-patter and the patient feet of number 30.
Yeah, runs with pace. When he sees a hole, he bursts through it. Always makes the first guy miss.
Big gain there on 1st down. Put the ball at the 23-yard line now. Brooks in motion, running around. High snap, doesn't matter. Shelton trying to take it to the house. And he will flag down. So touchdown, but hold the phone.
I think they're going to call blindside block.
Block in the back, maybe, or blindside.
That's a tough call.
The official was right there while Shelton was cutting back, trying to get to the corner of the end zone, which he did.
And Shelton did the right thing. He kind of ran the defender into the block. You'll see it right here. He jump cuts, gets to the outside. Now he takes him into the blocker. I mean, it's just, that's what they're calling.
We have 2 fouls on the play, both against the offense. Illegal blindside block. Offense number 8, that penalty is declined. Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Still 1st down.
So you can debate the blindside block, but the holding would have wiped it out anyway.
Hey, it's just his younger brother trying to help an older brother,
oh
Tyson
boy.
Shelton.
Oh, boy. Gonna hear about that. So take the touchdown run off the board. Ball back at the 33-yard line. 1st and 20. They go back to Shelton here, trying to navigate. Wojciechowski gobble him up. Kevin said not this time.
Yeah, Wojciechowski It's a load again.
And Brom again is helping out 44.
You see him, Wojciechowski fighting off the blocker, Zach Anderson, and dropping him for a loss.
And Brom came from the backside. That might have been Trzynski, Dan. I couldn't tell because he was mauling with the offensive lineman, but big time tackle regardless. Second and long. Calais throws it into the crowd. And that's going to be grounding because there wasn't a white shirt anywhere in the vicinity. So that'll be a penalty and a loss of down. Mike Brewer will confirm what I just said, but
yeah, it has to cross the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that too.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 13. Quarterback was out of the pocket, up to the forward pass, and that crossed the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty on the foul, and it includes a loss of down. 3rd down.
Well, it wasn't 13. It was Joey Calais, number 7. But point taken. And the Knights finally finding ways, using the hanky to their benefit to push Franklin backwards.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're looking at 3rd and 33. They got to get to Mitchell International Airport for the first down. Calais gonna shoot for it. Got his man.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be short of a first down, but only by 2 yards. Guess who?
Yeah,
Drakowski again.
Boy, they have really developed a connection. And nice job protection up front. Look at Kelly step up in the pocket and deliver a strike.
Dylan just keeps working the middle of the field, Dan, on the touchdown catch, then the big catch, and an even bigger one here. And Franklin, they're going to talk about it. They want to go for it here on 4th and 2. So they go from 3rd and 33 to 4th and 2. And Lewis Brown says, hey, I don't have to punt the football.
No.
We can go for it here and keep this drive alive. Another big catch here, 7-11, Dan.
Yeah, look at this. He scales the field, surveys the field, steps up in the pocket, delivers a strike. Jackson Villarreal was right on him.
See the eyes of Calais. As Dan said, scanning, surveying, and just waiting for 11 to make his cut. And now, after talking about it, 4th and 2, they say, let's try to get 3. We got a pretty good field goal kicker here in Mueller. Cooper, 6'5", 180. Long and lanky, and a strong leg. This one, a 32-yard attempt. Kick is good.
He's still perfect.
So after the timeout, they huddled up and said, 3 will work as well. And it does to make the lead 17-0 Sabres.
Yeah, it's a 3-score game, and I'm sure that's what he was thinking.
Bottom line, their defense forces the short punt again. This is a recording, and the offense gets points. And now Oak Creek, the uphill battle continues for the Knights. Mueller will boot the football. He's not only perfect on the season, but perfect tonight and not allowing any kick returns. All touchbacks so far.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't help but be frustrated right now when you had a 3rd and 33, and Franklin turns that into points.
Yeah, that stings if you're Oak Creek. Bryant and Belter deep for the night. See if they get a chance to touch it here.
No,
someone will.
Yep.
Fielded at the 22. One of the up men. Jackson Fuller takes it. And the kick return unit. They get some work. And the Knights will take over. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Still time to do something here, but they got to cobble a drive together here. Try and get on the scoreboard before halftime and get a better taste in the mouth when they head to the locker room.
Yeah, score would be huge for Oak Creek on this drive.
Isaiah Angelus at the controls. Phelps behind him. From the 29. Give it to Jackson. And look at the cut back, but nothing to cut back to as Tegan Fox got in there, Dan.
Yeah, Tegan, again, we talk about these linebackers. You see on the replay, I mean, they're in on every play. Fox comes from the backside. Then you got on the front side Will Graffin there. And then, again, Emmanuel Joseph and Summers. That's a tough core. Every one of them had like all conference mention. I think 3 of the 4 are wrestlers.
2nd and 10. Phelps again.
Oh.
And
Miller. Whoa.
John Pearson from the sidelines once again.
Well, guys, you mentioned a little bit about the wrestling, and I was talking to some people down there. That is a big part of Franklin's success. 3 of the 4 linebackers are wrestlers there. Tegan Fox and Emmanuel Joseph went to state. And then there's Talon Summers. Not only is he a wrestler, but he's a part of a program where they teach them how to be lifeguards, and he's one of the people that go to PE classes when they teach swimming and make sure everybody's safe. So these are the tidbits. They haven't taught him how to run in slow motion like on Baywatch.
Too bad. That would be cool. 3rd and long. Angelus, down he goes. Chased down by Emmanuel Joseph. Brings up 4th down again. The Sabres defense is just stifling.
Man. Talon Summers, Emmanuel Joseph, just flying to the – there's Miller. Just flying to the ball. Those are good linebackers.
This defensive front by Franklin, Dan, they muck it up.
Yep.
They do their part, and then the linebackers, they come from the backside, and just you've seen the result of this defense swarming Oak Creek here in the first half. Another punt and another bouncer down at the 42-yard line. And now it's the Sabres' turn to try to have the feel-good moment heading to the locker room. Already up 17-0. They want more.
Oh yeah, they want another one before the end of this half.
And Franklin gets the football to start the second half. So this could be the old 2-for-1 if they can score again and then come out and get the football right back. From the 43 with 2:55 to play. Shelton extends the arm in front of his lineman, trying to get some breathing room. Not a whole lot. Gain of 2, maybe 3. They'll give him 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Brom again on the tackle. He's just all over the field.
Yeah, 34 is a good one. Remember, Franklin burned 2 timeouts in the first half, so they have 1 left. Back to Shelton. And down he goes.
Guess who?
I know, 34, right? Brom again.
Yeah. Brom just flies through any little opening that's there.
Call him a ball hawk, and I mean,
Yeah,
but he's also a body hawk, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he seeks out the runner, or when somebody makes the catch, 34 is always in the neighborhood. 3rd and 8 as the clock winds here. And Calais throws. There's your guess who again.
Yeah.
You just knew 11 would be on the other end of it, and Drakowski again picks up the first down.
First down 6.
Just you see here, he just does a nice job again, moving, getting his feet set, delivering a strike. And he's got a good chemistry going with Drakowski.
And they move the football down to the 35, looking for another big chunk play. There's Brooks. There's your big chunk play. Jocks Brooks to the 12. Sabres knocking on the door again. In the red zone, 1st and 10.
Yeah, see right here on the replay. Again, it's not like he's locked on a receiver. He's finding the open man and delivering the ball where only his guy can get it. You see why Jocks was an honorable mention All-State receiver a year ago.
And now Oak Creek backpedaling on their heels once again. They call a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Franklin has 1. And now time, not a big deal for the Sabres.
No.
And another look. You survey, you see, really got your pick because Drakowski was open over the middle once again, too. These receivers, Dan, they've picked something up, and they're finding seams in this defense.
Yeah, and it's a well-conceived passing game by Drew Ambrose. He's turning into one of the premier offensive coaches in the state.
Timeout over. 1:13 to go before halftime.
Oh, a little movement.
A little movement.
Prior to the snap, full start, offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin halftime report. John Pearson talks with Travis Wilson from WSN. They discuss Thursday Night Throwdown as well as all things high school football in the state of Wisconsin. Week 6 already, Dan. Week 6. Where's it going?
I don't know. It's hard to believe.
Season flying right along. And with it, important conference games, including this one in the Southeast. 1st and 15 now, back at the 17. Fake at the Shelton, toss it over the middle, almost intercepted.
Oh, man.
Woo. Jackson Villarreal wants that one back.
Again, reading the quarterback, broke on the ball. You'll see right here, he's locked in on the quarterback. Should have been a pick.
You heard John Pearson talking about the wrestlers at Franklin. Villarreal, he qualified for state wrestling as a freshman a year ago.
Yes.
This is a talented sophomore that they got in this secondary at Oak Creek. Toughness. Just need some Jack Tatum stick 'em next time.
Yeah.
Google it, people. 2nd down and 15 from the 17. Give it to Shelton. And hanging on for dear life. And then finally brought down Gavin Grawl.
Shelton on the carry. Grawl on the stop.
Yeah, we'll see. Grawl did a nice job. He actually beat the younger Tyson Shelton that time. Tyson been doing a great job handling him. We said he's a little brother of Terrence Shelton. They said before Tyson's done, he's going to be one of the next great linemen at Franklin, and they've had their share.
Oh, boy, have they ever. Oak Creek digging in here. 3rd and 19 now, back at the 21. Fake it to Shelton again. Calais, marker flies, football flies, just throws it away, and we'll see what the penalty is. If it's on Franklin, they'll decline it, I would think, Oak Creek.
Probably going to get a hold.
Well, then maybe not. Maybe you push them back, get them out of field goal range.
Yep.
We'll let Mike Brewer sort it out. Yeah, going to be the hold, but what does Joel Parr want to do? We saw him pick up 31 on 3rd and 33, you remember, so.
Yep.
I think Joel's doing the math now, like trying to decide.
Holding. Offense number 60. Grabs the jersey, and as the defender is trying to get away, would not let go. That penalty is declined. It is 4th down.
I love Mike Brewer.
Yeah,
I do.
too,
and
yeah.
I've known Mike since he was a youngster.
Yeah, I actually have to correct myself. That Jake Picar was the one called for the hold. His brother is John, who is at Whitewater, just so I could say Whitewater again.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so they declined it. Franklin's going to try the field goal. Oak Creek's going to.
The music must turn off as the offense comes to the ball. Again, the music must turn off as the offense comes to the ball.
Who's in charge here? Mike Brewer's in charge.
Brewer,
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So they declined it at Oak Creek. Brings up 4th down. They forced the field goal try. This will be a 38-yard try by Mueller.
Oh,
and he slipped.
And he knows that's his first miss of the year.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
There was sprinkles, Dan, and I mean only sprinkles here pregame. It was not much.
No.
I think just the footing gave out.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the left foot.
Yep.
He just couldn't plant. Turf monster got you 45.
Yep.
So Oak Creek needed something. That will help.
That may be it.
John Pearson, one more word before halftime.
Well, thank you very much. But, yeah, we do know that the speaker system works down here. But a little bit of investigative journalism. Mike Brewer, big Taylor Swift fan. If they would have been playing Taylor Swift, it would have been okay. But they were going the hard driving rock, and he only has eyes for Tay-Tay.
Only John Pearson can get you that information here in the Thursday Night Throwdown. Kneel down there to end the first half of football. The helmet game trophy on the line. The rivalry that goes back decades. And Franklin only in the first half of this one. 17-0, Sabres over the Knights. Our halftime programming comes your way. Stick around. You're watching the Thursday Night Throwdown on WSN.
I think when anybody comes onto our farm, they see how family-oriented we are. Having the 3 generations all at one dinner table, it's just a really fun time to spend as a family. I would love to see them someday taking over the farm as well. You know, that's a farmer's ultimate dream, to see it pass on to the hands of the next generation.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
All right, let's go, baby. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Nobody ever drowned in sweat. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, I'm pleasantly impressed by that.
even though. Big hole. Hickman.
Goodbye.
Goodbye is right. With that speed, that is a touchdown, his second of the night.
Bentley Hickman, just a sophomore. You're going to hear that a lot when you do things like that. The way you guys, that first turnover your defense created and then the offense just took over here, how would you describe this night for your team?
I mean, I just got to give thanks to my O-line, my blocking back, my quarterback, just my whole team just supporting me. I just got to give it all to them.
Last week, the game we looked forward to possibly the most was Muskego taking on Mukwonago. Muskego actually jumped out on them and was in control pretty much throughout, and that's great news for them. But then the sad news is that their opponent this week, Waukesha South, not able to play. Travis Wilson, the general manager of WSN, always in tune with these things. And of course, we know that South had a lot of injury issues there, but Muskego having to go without a game this week, just how are they going to respond to that? And it's just always a sad, sad time when this happens to teams.
Yeah, really unfortunate because it really had been a huge time for Muskego. Last week was homecoming for them. They got a big win, as you said, against Mukwonago. Great game. Several thousand people there. One of the better attended games that I have seen. A big win over your rival. On Saturday, Muskego grad Hunter Wohler had 2 interceptions for the Badgers. Things were rolling for Muskego, it seemed like. And then they got the call earlier this week that Waukesha South was going to cancel because of low numbers and injuries that they've had in the program. I talked to their head coach, Ken Krause, and their athletic director, Ryan McMillan. They had tried to find a game. Unfortunately, there's nobody open in the state of Wisconsin. They had looked all over. They looked in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, could not find an opponent. So they will not be playing this week, unfortunately. And it is an unfortunate situation. Unfortunately, it happened last year, too, with Waukesha South having to cancel their last 2 games of the season in a similar situation. Now, Muskego was not one of those games last year, but South is in a difficult position. And they have asked out of the Classic 8 conference for a number of years. They and Waukesha North have asked out for a while, had not been able to facilitate that. The WIAA and the task force that handles conference realignment had not been able to make that work. But next year, they are moving out of the Classic 8 and moving into a situation they feel will be a little bit better. They'll be with some competition they feel will give them a better chance to compete. Now, that being said, anytime a team is struggling, a conference change is not going to be the magic bullet. It's not going to be, the thing that will all of a sudden turn them into a good program. There's a lot of internal issues that any school in that situation has to identify and has to fix. But hopefully this will give them a better shot going forward. It does leave Muskego in a tough spot, though. They are without a game this week, could not find one. Those seniors lose out on one more opportunity, but they get a win. They do clinch a playoff spot. I think maybe the first team that has clinched a playoff spot officially, is they now have 4 conference victories. So a week off, rest up, and then they get back to it in Classic 8 play next week. A big one in the Parkland Conference and Catholic Memorial, like you said, they got off to a slow start. Lost 2 games, including that week 2 shocker when they were running clocked by Marquette. Went into Parkland play, things got a little bit easier for them. They were able to regroup and have gotten some wins. But New Berlin West is a tough opponent. I tell you, that program under Ben Chosick at New Berlin West really has taken a step up and forward the last couple of years. A smash mouth football team with a couple really punishing running backs and a really physical front line. So it's going to be tough for Catholic Memorial. Another team that was off to a slow start that we've talked about before, I think, is Fond du Lac. And the Cardinals were 0-4 to start the year against a very tough schedule. They had a tough one last week against Kaukauna, who was undefeated, had impressive wins on the year, but Fond du Lac was able to get on the board and get a win in that one. So playoff hope's not dead yet for Fond du Lac. Still on life support a little bit are the Cardinals, but they've got a little bit easier to go of it the rest of the way as the tougher part of their schedule is out of the way. And other teams that are in that situation that maybe didn't have the start that they hoped for, this is a big week. This is a big turning point week as they try to turn the tables, try to get things back on track, and get back in the winning column.
We're pretty far into this season and they have not been challenged yet. And of course, Kenosha St. Joe's is one of those. I think looks like they've outscored their opponents 219-20 this year. How does a coach keep their attention? Obviously, there are teams that they can beat even if they're not playing at their absolute best. When coaches have to try and make sure they have their kids' attention, because when the playoffs start, there are going to be challenges.
Yeah, and that is a challenge. That is a challenge for teams that maybe are in a weaker conference or maybe are just that good that they aren't getting challenged on a week-to-week basis. A team like Kenosha St. Joseph, Wanakee, even though they went out and scheduled pretty tough in the non-conference, they're going to run away with the Badger Large after beating Sun Prairie East earlier this year. It is a challenge. And as I talk to coaches around the state, there's so many things that go into being successful. And there's so many things that go into kids' lives as well. We sometimes forget these are 15, 16, 17-year-old kids in a lot of situations, that it's hard to keep their focus on track just normally, let alone when they're not really being challenged week in and week out. So that is a tough ask for teams. But the better programs, they have dealt with it before. They have found ways to keep kids engaged, not let the foot off the gas. And that's truly a sign of a good team, a great team, is when you just stop the competition. You don't play down to your competitive level. You continue to play up. And those are the teams that go through the season undefeated and then continue to have success in the postseason.
Give me some of the best matchups of the week that we can expect starting tomorrow night.
Well, our Quick Trip in Wisconsin Dairy game of the week is in the Eastern Wisconsin Conference, as that will feature Two Rivers at Kohler, Sheboygan Lutheran, Sheboygan Christian. Two Rivers undefeated this year. They really pushed Catholic Memorial in the playoffs last year, and they're looking to make some noise in Division 4 this season, especially with defending champion Columbus dropping down to D5 this year, it appears. Some rivalry games, some big games in the southwest part of the state. You've got Darlington at Mineral Point, which is the third most played rivalry in state history. The first meeting between those teams was 1894. Darlington has dominated that one, 90-26 with 5 ties in 121 previous meetings. But that is first place on the line in the SWAL. In the SWC, the Southwest Conference, you've got Lancaster at Platteville. Maybe not the teams we thought were going to be at the top of that league. We thought probably Broadhead, Judah, and Prairie du Chien would battle it out there. But these teams are 3-0, and this is for first place in that conference. And then a huge one in the Scenic Bluffs Conference. We have 1 versus 2 in Division 7. Top-ranked Cashton takes on second-ranked Bangor, and a huge matchup in the South Central and a huge matchup in Division 7 that will have implications for not only the conference standing, but also seeding, placement, all kinds of postseason implications in that one as well.
Describe what home field pride is and why you have so much pride in it.
Well, we have been fortunate to work with Midwest Sport and Turf Systems the last couple of years on the Home Field Pride Contest, where we want to find and recognize the outstanding facilities and specifically football fields that have been installed in the state of Wisconsin by the great folks at Midwest Sport and Turf Systems. Our first year we did it a couple of years ago, Amherst won that competition. They had a great new turf field up there. Their community really got behind this campaign. They had done great fundraising to get the field in the first place. And then when we had done the Home Field Pride campaign and they were nominated, they had some businesses step forward that said, hey, we want to be involved in this as well. We want to make some additional donations. And it went from the $1,000 prize that we awarded along with Midwest Sport and Turf Systems, but it was over $20,000 that they raised as part of that, where people stepped forward and said, hey, we want to donate $1,000, or we want to donate $100 or $20, whatever it might be, to our athletic department to continue to improve our facilities and our opportunities for our student athletes. It was a really cool opportunity to see them. Again, they won the competition, which was awesome. And then they raised an additional almost $30,000 towards their athletic programs as part of that, which is really cool to see. And again, that's what it's all about, having pride in your community, in your school. Last year, Delavan Darien took home the prize. So this year, we're at it again, looking for a new Home Field Pride winner. Each week for the next 5 weeks will be group voting of 10 schools where you can vote on who has the best football field. We have Group 1 voting going on right now, and then Group 2 next week. At the end of the finals, there will be a $1,000 donation made to the winning school to their athletic department. And again, we're trying to recognize those schools that have made great investments in their facilities and in their football fields. And again, a big thank you to our friends at Midwest Sport and Turf Systems for allowing us to do that.
Just going through the site, and you're so complete with your coverage. When did we get so many good punters? I remember growing up, and even 5-10 years ago, I don't remember this many kids who averaged 42, 43, 44 yards of punt. The emphasis on that is becoming a weapon. Did you notice that coaches started talking about this? They want to develop punters? Because last week, obviously, we spotted young Mr. West from Homestead as a kicker, but when punting became such a big part of what's going on here. When did you kind of spot that was happening?
It's certainly been an evolution. We've had some very good specialists in the state of Wisconsin. The Kevin Stemke, who our Kevin Stemke Award is named after, Ken DeBausch. There's been some really good punters and kickers that have come out of the state of Wisconsin. And you mentioned Sean West, very highly rated kicker and punter from Homestead. There's Eric Schmidt, who is a junior at Marquette that already has a preferred walk-on offer from Wisconsin. But it's really been an evolution over the years. It used to be, a kid that kicked and punted was just a kid that did that because he was good at it, in addition to playing a regular spot or playing elsewhere. And there are some kickers and punters that are very good that do play other positions. We saw Sean West with a touchdown last week in that game against Hartford. But there's a lot of specialization that's happening now as well, where those kids are going out and getting training in the offseason devoted to being a kicker, a punter, and long snapper is another emerging field. And they're getting college opportunities because of that. And so we're seeing more and more investment in special teams, in kickers and punters at the high school level, because they're seeing those opportunities at the next level. And again, they're putting loads of time and effort and energy into being involved in their craft, perfecting their craft, becoming a better kicker, punter, or long snapper. And so we just continue to see that improvement at the high school level.
And when it comes to the best coverage of high school sports, we know you'll never punt. Travis, have enjoyed the second half. Thanks so much for joining us this week.
Well, John, I appreciate it. I'm the JV football coach at Reedsburg, and I joke, I guess, that we are team no punt. We are trying never to punt. We did twice last game. We had not the previous two games, but offense, no punting.
I love living in Kewanee, Wisconsin because the skies are blue, smell of the fresh green grass. It's just a beautiful place to live. I love it. You love your animals, you love what you're doing, you love everything about farming, and you want to carry on those traditions. That's why we dairy farm.
Here it is. 1963 is the first time that they played with the trophy in the line. You see, Oak Creek was a 34-0 winner back then. They were 35-7 winners a year ago, but Sabres threatening to take that hardware back to Franklin, leading this one 17-0 at the half. Bob Brainerd, Dan Brunner, John Pearson, our terrific crew here in the OC. First half highlights, Dan, and it appears that the Sabres decided to go shopping at 7-Eleven. 7-2-11, that is.
Man, what a connection.
For the touchdown there, the first one.
Yep.
This one, again, over the middle. Dylan Drakowski finding seams in this defense. Big catch there, almost took it in. Shelton then on the Wildcat does take it in to score, make it 14-0. And Shelton just doing enough damage when they're not doing damage through the air to give that defense more things to be concerned about. The Buffalo University commit, tough dude to bring down.
Absolutely.
But Oak Creek has had their moments. Drew Brom has provided the moments, Dan.
Yeah, he's been all over the field. I mean, anytime there's a tackle for a loss or a big stop, it's usually number 34.
Came in leading the conference in tackles this season is Drew Brom. But now it's the offense that needs to get on track for Oak Creek.
I can't see anybody. Oh, there they are.
There they are. It's Camo, Dan. John Pearson.
Well, thank you very much. Simple intro right there. But Oak Creek, we were just kind of hanging around the outside of the huddle there, and they did a little good cop, bad cop. The coordinators and head coach all talked, but very calmly, and then out of nowhere, I will not identify the coach, but it was a fire and brimstone speech. Go get them. Don't get down on yourselves. Don't give up. and they were all fired up, and the coach walked away, and he winked at everybody because he knew exactly what he was doing in that one. So that's always good to see. And the other thing that was most impressive, this state champion Oak Creek band, apparently they're not allowed to smile when they leave the field, so they march past, and nothing gives the student section at Oak Creek more joy than trying to make them laugh. And even at one point, you smiled, you lose. So that's the little halftime atmosphere out here tonight, guys.
Yeah, appreciate that, John.
Yeah.
Yes, the Oak Creek Marching Knights, Dan and I were riveted because they are one of the best award-winning marching bands in the state of Wisconsin. They always put on a great halftime show.
Yeah, they are good.
And again, hats off to both student sections for showing up and getting the memos on what to wear. Great atmosphere, whether it's here or 4 miles away at Franklin High School. Parents got the memos too. Wear something dark.
Yes. Yeah, great crowd. Just great Friday night, Thursday night throwdown football.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, Franklin will receive the football to start the second half, leading by a 17-0 count. We told you a few times about Cade Palkowski, a senior here who he's a terrific baseball player, a North Carolina Tar Heel baseball commit, and the team loves him. He wants to be a part of this football team, but, the future. And North Carolina said we would prefer if he didn't play football, and he instead is focusing on fall baseball. He's made a couple trips to North Carolina, going to go to Iowa as well. There's Cade in the Zuba pants. Love the Zubas, Cade. Awesome look. But, a tough one. Scott Holler's the athletic director and the baseball coach here. He wants him to play football, but being the baseball coach, he also understands that difficult decision. It's a life decision that Cade had to make. But when he can, when he's not doing baseball things for his future, he's here on the sidelines doing whatever he can to try to help his football teammates.
Yeah, a little bit of shoulder issues, and that all played a part in it. So, I'm sure they wish him well.
The kickoff to Brooks, fields it at the 2. Jocks,
no,
down he goes. Give 27 the credit. That's Nathan Schaff, who got down the field quickly. So now, if you're Oak Creek, you heard John Pearson, the coaches, the fire and brimstone discussion. Now we'll see if it translates here to get a stop and get the football into their offense's hands, trailing by 17-0 count on the scoreboard.
Yeah, their kickoff coverage team did the job. Now we got to see if their defense follows that lead.
You saw, 92 is Gavin Grawl. He was having issues with the helmet. He couldn't get the chin strap snapped in time. And the officials said, look at this. There's no sticker on the helmet. And now he's got to get off the field because he took the helmet off for at least one play. I've never seen that.
Never have seen that.
Shelton doesn't get much. I mean, poor Gavin Grawl was like, just give me a helmet. But once he came off, he's got to stay off for one play. They couldn't get it snapped. He was asking all his teammates, snap it for me so I can stay on the field. And then Gavin, he found the first helmet he could find. Just look at that. They're still working on it. No stickers, nothing. But it'll work. Over the middle, catch is made. As play continues without Grawl, that's Andrew Heumann. Boy, the Sabres, they've found something over the middle of this defense, Dan.
Yeah, they again, you'll see on the replay, wide open bubble in the middle of that zone defense. And Human, back from a knee injury, is having a good game.
Now before the snap, the officials blew the whistle to huddle up. And they're going to make it a first down. Wanted to make sure that the chain gang was correct. They are from the 27. And all kinds of movement. Draws a bunch of hankies as well.
Out of the snap. Full start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Mike Brewer, ladies and gentlemen. If you know. No, Mike and his crew working this contest tonight, staying busy. So 5-yard march off, backwards go the Sabres to the 22-yard line, 1st and 15 now. Shelton in motion. Calais, little toss to Brooks. Jacks Brooks picks up the first down. No sweat after the penalty.
Yeah, well-designed tunnel screen to Brooks. Impressive Kevin Wojciechowski running him down from his defensive end spot. You see in the replay here. Looks left, throws right. Watch big number 44 come from behind to make the play.
Now, I don't see a marker down, but the officials are huddling up near the Franklin sideline. Mike Brewer will inform us, I hope. It looks like Franklin's going backward. So there's a flag somewhere.
After the catch, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, continuous blocking out of bounds. Offense number 13. 15-yard penalty being forced from the spot of foul. Still first down.
So that's why it was out of bounds, and the hanky was out of bounds. So no one could see it.
Yep, Ben Burgess.
So you wipe out the catch and go to get the first down, bring it all the way back, and march it back to the 15 now.
Now you got 1st and 25.
Now watch 13. Blocking.
Yep, yeah, he must have continued out of bounds.
It's a no-no. 1st and 25. Trying to get some of it back.
Boy.
They'll get a lot of it back with Shelton. They'll get all of it and then some.
Wow.
What a run by Terrence Shelton.
Man.
I mean, ideally, you're saying, let's just get some of it here.
Yeah.
And Shelton says, no, I'll get all of it.
All those guys up front got a piece of somebody. And, I mean, he can make you miss in a phone booth.
To the 42-yard line. Move the chains. Shelton having another big night on the ground here for the Sabres. Give it back to him. Shelton, running room again. 40, 35, 25. Knocked down at the 19. Terrence Shelton on the loose. Chewing up the chunkage, Dan.
Yeah, look at these guys up front making a crease for him. He doesn't need much room to run, and he just always makes people miss.
And you see Ben Burgess with the block that time in play, not out of bounds. He helped spring Shelton for another huge gain. So all the penalties, they were back at the 15-yard line. Now they're almost at the 15-yard line of Oak Creek. 1st and 10 at the 18. Dump it off to Shelton. And nothing doing this time. He's wrapped up from underneath by Brady Gooley.
Yep, and Tanner Howski.
Gooley's only a sophomore, but Very instinctive, hard-nosed player is 42. Only a yard on that little pass play. 2nd and 9 from the 17. Shelton dotting the I here behind Calais. Fake it to him. Drop back. Throw. Corner. Incomplete. Intended for Brooks. Good coverage by Jay Bryant. Didn't let him get in front. It brings up 3rd down.
Pass falls incomplete. 3rd and 9 for the Sabres.
So now, what does Drew Ambrose and his offense dial up here on 3rd and 9? They're well within range of Mueller for another field goal try.
Well, he's been pretty hot on number 11, so we'll have to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, good call. Over the middle again.
Oh, what a catch.
Brooks. Mark him down inside the 1, 1st and goal. What a catch indeed.
Wow. This is impressive.
Brooks on the reception down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
Oh, my goodness.
One-handed.
A laser beam by Calais.
Man.
And Brooks extends with the paw to reel it in. 1st and goal, Franklin. Shelton, Wildcat. Direct snap.
Yep.
He's in again. Touchdown. 2nd rushing TD of the night for Terrence Shelton. He's got 8 on the year, and it's only week 6, and it's 23-0 Sabres.
Yeah, great push up front. Zach Anderson being the lead blocker on that. Right tackle.
So Brooks gets him close. Shelton carries the mail from a yard out. Mueller for the PAT. Kick is good. 24-0 Sabres. 2 parts. First the catch, Dan, then the run.
Yeah. Laser beam, snags it with one hand.
And then number 1 does the heavy lifting, and then Shelton carried it in from a yard out. This is what he's looking at. Just finds the gap.
You see Miller, all those guys up front. Zach Anderson and Miller clearing the way.
.24 zip. Interesting music choices here, Dan.
Yeah.
Like the Jackie Gleason Orchestra was playing before the kickoff here. Again, Google it if you don't know. Mueller to kick. Bryant is deep, along with Belter. And they won't touch it. You saw John Pearson and Travis Wilson talking at halftime about all the talented kickers and punters and long snappers in the state. And Travis summed it up best. Kids realize now that they can be specialists in those positions.
Yeah.
And they can take, if they're good enough, they can get a gig in college.
Absolutely.
Kicking, punting, snapping, and we're seeing a lot of good ones throughout the state now.
Yeah, this is the most I can ever remember.
So the Knights back to work. Sophomore quarterback Isaiah Angeles to Phelps. He bangs off at number 4, Joseph. Down he goes.
Down by Joseph. 2nd and 10.
Boy, I know it's like a broken record, but take a look at these linebackers. I mean, it's one of the 4 is always making that first hit.
Manuel. Yeah, they get in the backfield quickly.
Yeah.
And they move them around, Dante. You never know where they're coming from.
No.
No gain in the play. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Angeles, look out. Intercepted.
Pick.
Will Graffin. Isaiah would love to have that throw back again because this was too easy for number 6.
Yeah, he's just playing the passing lanes here. And you'll see it right here if we get a good look at it. He just stared down his receiver. Graffin broke on the ball. Easy pick.
Yeah, Will's waiting in the weeds, right,
Yeah.
Dan? He was just daring him to throw over there, and then when he did, 6 jumped the route, and here's the Franklin offense once again, 1st and 10 at the 30. Give it to Shelton. Just won't go down, will he?
No.
4 or 5 blue shirts in there to finally bring him down. You see 92, that's Gavin Graw with the generic-looking helmet, but at least he got a helmet to stay back out there, get back on the field.
Yeah.
Been a long night for the Knights on both sides of the ball. Defense has been out there a long time. Calais with time over the middle, got 11 again, and on the tip.
Oh, man.
Touchdown, Franklin.
Oh, talk about staying with the ball.
Dylan Drakowski tipped it to himself. Second TD catch of the night for number 11.
Wow. Again, Calais puts the ball perfectly on him. And he stays with the tip.
Oh.
Never touched the ground.
No.
Wow, what a catch.
Braden Rohde was there in coverage, and he gets in there, Dan, and disrupts it.
Yeah.
But Drakowski stayed the course, and he tipped it up in the air, made the grab. Both feet were in. Ball never touched the carpeting.
No.
Touchdown, Franklin. 31-0. Another look. It's worth it.
Yeah, look at Calais. I mean, great protection up front. Miller and the gang up there. Puts it right on him. Stays with the tip. I mean, Braden Rohde had him covered perfectly, and he tipped the ball. It's just a better offensive play.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, Oak Creek, number 48. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff as number 48's first foul towards disqualification.
That's Andrew Trzynski. You heard after the touchdown, Trzynski had some words and perhaps some frustration building for the Knights tonight because they are getting beat on both sides of the football tonight, and I guarantee no one saw this lopsidedness coming.
No, not with that outstanding Oak Creek defense.
Another look, Dan.
Yeah, look at Kelly. I mean, we're seeing him just develop week by week. And look at the concentration. Fantastic. You know, Kelly's dad was a quarterback back in the day at St. Francis High School. I know he played for my good friend Doug Sarver, who was the head coach at that time. And you can see the genetics playing out here.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, right?
No.
And this one an easy touchback after the taunting penalty. They kicked it off from the 45 of Oak Creek. No, previewing the game. And we talked to both coaches, and they both said almost similarly, there's some things that we like that we think we can do.
Yeah.
Against the other team, certainly respect the other team. It wasn't going to be easy. So both coaches thought if we execute, then good things will happen, but the other team is going to have a say in this, and that it's going to be another dogfight. Well, Franklin has just brought the fight tonight as Phelps gets the carry. out to the 26-yard line. I mean, they have pinned their ears back on defense, and they've set up their offense to make big plays, and they have made big plays all night long when they've had the football.
Yeah, just been impressive with that offensive performance. Again, you know, you go back to their offensive coordinator, he's certainly found some weaknesses that they could exploit, and they have.
2nd down and 4 from the 26 for the Knights. Back to Phelps. On the WisSports Net weekly poll, Franklin in Division I has the number 3 slot. Oak Creek at number 10.
Yeah.
Also in Division I.
You know, that the Franklin defense, you know, they only have 3 defensive linemen with Maxwell, Glenn, Miller, and Van Hefter, but they're always shooting one of those linebackers. So it almost always turns into a four-man front, and you never know who's coming.
Phelps again to the outside for the first down. Nice run by Jackson to the 36-yard line to move the chains.
Yeah, Cooper Camley made a play to stop that. You'll see on the outside, but not enough to keep him from moving the chains.
It's a Franklin team that they won it all in 2021, won the state championship. There's a handful of players that were contributors on that 2021 team.
Yeah.
So you've got a great mix, Dan, of the youngsters who grew up and they want to leave their own mark, but also some veterans who say, hey, we know how to get there.
Absolutely.
We got there and won it all. Shelton was one of them. Phelps gets the carry
Brooks,
to the 40. Brooks, yep.
Boy, when you talk about Brooks, I mean, you think of the fact that Brooks has, I think he started all 4 years. It's one of only 3 players to do that.
Yeah, all 4 years on varsity is Jax Brooks.
And as a starter.
So much talent every year. It's hard to keep that job for 4 years, I would imagine.
Boy. You know, we had Miller in the open, but he comes as advertised. He is just controls the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 55. The wrestler is. He plays football like he's a wrestler, doesn't he?
He is a handful.
Second team all-conference a year ago. He may make that first team here in 2023 before it's all said and done. 3rd and 5 from the 41 for the Knights. Angeles to the sideline. Catch is made right. They're going to move him backwards after the catch made by Rhodey.
Got to go, so.
Indeed. 4th and 2 now. They need the 46, as you can see.
2 for the Knights.
Yeah, Rhodey's, again, he's a terrific baseball player. Wojciechowski is going to be the Knights closer when baseball season arrives in the spring.
We saw number 2, Caden Bates, coming in. It's kind of interesting how the offense comes into the huddle through him as a tight end, not the quarterback.
And the quarterback,
he may not have gotten it.
He didn't. They're going to mark him at the 45. He needed the 46. Sabres will take over on downs. Big stop on 4th down to preserve the shutout.
Quarterback draw falls short of the yardage to gain.
Yeah, you can see he just gets overwhelmed. Again, Miller in on that, and Emmanuel Joseph.
That winner can come and get their money.
Yep, got him right at the 45, as you saw. Short by a yard. And the offense, another crack here in the late stages of the third quarter, and Shelton finding a crack, finding an opening, spinning, twisting and turning his way to a first down at the 33.
Yeah, look at Shelton. I mean, just makes people miss. Hard to bring down. Just seems to run so instinctively. Knows when to burst.
Calais, little
Screen,
drop.
here we
little
go.
Dump. Shelton, catch and carry. Blockers out in front. Running overnight. Inside the 10. It'll be first and goal. Franklin. Good lettuce coming out of the helmet, too, Dan. I like that.
He does, yeah. Kelly does such a nice job. I mean, he just, like his coach said, he distributes the ball where it needs to go. I mean, he just moves it around so well. Has good touch on the ball.
From the shotgun here, first and goal.
Brooks.
Brooks wants to throw. Lefty wants to throw. Now he's going to run. And Brooks banged down by Jackson Phelps.
Yeah, Oak Creek has seen this play. They ran this play against Catholic Memorial, and Brooks completed his only pass of the season for a touchdown. But they had that well covered, and to Brooks's credit, he didn't just throw it into traffic.
Well, he wanted to throw, though.
He did want to throw.
Come on, this is my turn. The southpaw, he kept looking for an opening.
He was looking back at Calais like, come on, put your hands up. I'll throw it back to you.
And Calais was he didn't want to block either. He ran interference, but that was it.
He gave him the old chicken wing.
Yeah. Back to the ground, Shelton.
Man.
Shelton walks in for the touchdown, his third of the night.
Touchdown, Shelton.
And the Sabres rolling here on the road.
Yeah, you can see in the replay, good job by those guys up front again. Miller controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
And Mueller for the PAT. Makes it 38-0.
No.
And
Miller's kick is good.
who'd have thought a running clock game between
No.
Franklin and Oak Creek, right, Dan?
No, absolutely
Who'd have
not.
thought?
No.
So they'll kick it off, and that'll wind down the third quarter, and then it'll be a fourth quarter that everyone just wants to get out of here and keep the bodies healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Oak Creek team, Bob, that's going to get better and better and better. I mean, they got dealt a bad hand at the quarterback position, right before the season. And you got to shift gears like that. That's tough. And, their quarterback, Isaiah Angelis, he's going to keep getting better and better and better, and their offensive playbook's going to open up more and more and more, and they're always going to have that defense to lean on.
I don't think against Franklin tonight, I don't know if Dan Marino would have helped him.
No.
At quarterback. Franklin just has dominated on both sides of the football tonight.
Oh, they're clicking on all cylinders, both sides of the ball.
And at the 5, slippage there by Gabe Belter on the return, and that will end the third quarter of play. The Sabres making a statement here in the annual Helmet Trophy game, leading after 3, 38-0 at the OC. You're watching the Thursday Night Throwdown on WSN.
Farming is more than just a job because it demands so much of you. Every day I'm with the people that I care about the most. We accomplish or we fail together.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
38-0 as we begin the fourth quarter play. Going to be a running clock here, and John Pearson, never a running clock on him. You can talk as long as you want, John.
Well, thank you very much. And not a lot to celebrate for Oak Creek, but probably one of my favorite celebrations took place at the high school back on September 8th as 15 graduates of Oak Creek from the years 1967 and 1973 were getting ready for their honor flight to Washington, D.C. so they could be honored for their service in Vietnam. And Oak Creek decided to surprise them. The entire school turned out for a parade through the school. They were honored throughout right there. Such an amazing thing. There were a Congressional Medal of Honor winner there as well. But Oak Creek, they take a lot of pride in all the things, all of those that it served, and the way that they did it that day throughout the entire high school to celebrate those guys. Yeah, tonight's not been the best night, but let's remember just what they did and what those guys meant to this country. And Oak Creek, yeah, they turned out to make sure they knew.
Thanks, John. Awesome to revisit that story, because what a great turnout by the community and the high school and the kids. And see, these gentlemen were certainly touched at what took place in the high school. Well done. Fourth quarter underway. Angeles on the quarterback keeper.
Shot on the carry taken down by Bird. Gain of 2, second and 8.
It's going to be second down and 8.
Yeah, they're probably going to see them protecting Jackson Phelps now. They got a lot of other battles to fight.
Yep, Nate Schaff is in there. He's 27 now in the backfield. Fake at the Schaff. Toss downfield, looking for a big play, and it's incomplete. Busted up there in the secondary by that man. 35, Dylan Slamzewski. Did I get it right?
Yeah. But I was going to say, you're going to see Angeles in there because he needs all the work he can get.
Yeah.
So they're going to continue to play him.
You mentioned, Dan, that the staff, they simplified the playbook just to make sure that he was comfortable, to make sure the sophomore was comfortable. But, yes, as he gets more comfortable, they will open up that playbook and put more things on his plate. 3rd and 8 here. Little toss. They tried this earlier. This time it works until tackle made by Christian Berg. 4th down.
Sing on the carry. Berg on the stop. 4th down for the Knights.
Yeah, and again, you just compare that to how he tossed that ball earlier in the game. He put it out there really nice and smooth out in front of him. So he's a work in progress.
On the punt. Bounces out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Kick. Rolls out at the 30.
And again, the clock will roll here. 35 or more in the second half. That is how the game will come to a close here in Oak Creek, as the Sabres will remain unbeaten, go to 6-0. Next up, they get Racine Horlick at home. The Knights will drop to 4-2 and suffer their first conference loss. They will be on the road at Racine to take on Case, who's playing better football.
Yeah, that's a very good Case football team.
New quarterback for the Sabres. Sean Chastain taking the snaps here. He's a junior. And taking his time as well, working some clock. Slippage there in the backfield. New running back is Robert Bellinger, a sophomore.
Yeah, Bellinger, I mean, he gets a good share of playing time, giving Terrence Shelton a break from time to time. He's got 102 yards and a touchdown on the season, and 3 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown.
Fans, check those
Here's
tickets.
Roberts.
Ticket number is 542234. 542234.
On the slippage, lost a couple yards. 2nd and a dozen. Snap is going to go 6 yards. It's a long way. That's almost like snapping for a field goal. Bellinger goes down. Braum in on the tackle as well. He's going to keep playing every snap.
Yeah, Chastain, you can see he's watching for the back judge to give the signal when he starts his final 5 count. That's how long he waits till he calls for the snap.
3rd and a bunch. Little shot put pass to Bellinger. Who picks up the first down and is a threat to take it all the way. No, he won't. Finally dragged down at the 19-yard line.
Bellinger.
Simoncic takes the screen pass. 80 yards.
Look at this toss. Like a little flip, like a shot put, and then off to the races. And finally brought down by Singh. Keeps the ball in the Sabres' hands, keeps the clock moving. 1st and 10 now from the 18. Chastain again, just checking that back judge. When he sees the hands wave, then asks for the snap. Bellinger on the ground, changes directions. And then brought down.
Oh, no, we got another flag.
No. You saw Braum was laying on his back and he kept hanging on to the jersey. Yeah, you see the marker at the top of your screen there, way away from the play.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting. Offense number 16 for pointing at the scoreboard of the opponent. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. The down counts. 2nd down.
Tell you what, this crew they've picked up on all the extracurriculars.
Yes, they have.
They would like it to stay a respectable, friendly rivalry.
Yeah, they are definitely maintaining control.
Yep. So back to football goes to the 31. They need the 9-yard line now. Let's see where the sticks are for the first down. And it's not the concern. Just running clock here. Taking as much time off of it as possible. Throw and catch is made at the 19-yard line. That is Caden Kostowitz.
Kostowitz on the reception.
Boy, you can see on the replay, they just got a boatload of good receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, it was well covered. He went up and took that away.
Kostowitz is a junior.
Tanu Singh had great coverage on him.
I'll tell you what, some of the names for Oak Creek and Franklin, testing my pronunciation skills. But we're thankful to the coaches for helping us out with our pregame prep.
Yeah.
Take the handoff, and that one batted down in the passing lane there. Jaden Keith for Oak Creek. Sometimes, Dan, it's fun when we talk to the coaches before a game, and you ask him, well, how do you pronounce this kid's name? And he goes, well, we just call him Wojo, or we
Yeah,
just call
exactly.
they don't even know.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
They have to
right.
ask somebody else for the the last name pronunciation. Mueller's going to come on for a field goal try for Franklin. He's already connected once tonight. This will be a 36-yard attempt. And this one, no slippage and no problem.
His kick is good.
Makes it 41-0. And the clock will stop momentarily just to get the kickoff units out there. And then this one will wind down and go in the books as one of the more lopsided ones on that trophy that you saw.
Yeah, very, very unexpected outcome for this one. You know, and that last field goal, you know, you hear a spattering of boos. They're not trying to rub anything. Anytime you can get your field goal team on the field and practice a field goal in a game, you do it.
The Hall of Fame coach has spoken.
You know, you just never know when it's going to come down to a field goal to win a game.
And he had the last attempt. He slipped. And, he wanted a little redemption there to try to right the wrong there. Mueller kicking off here. And again, he's done his job with multiple touchbacks tonight.
Yeah, there's no chinks in any armor on that Franklin team. They just seem to have every aspect of the game covered.
Well, it was 17-0 at the half, Dan.
Yeah.
And then Franklin put up a 21-burger in the third quarter.
Yeah, man.
You had the Shelton 1-yard TD run, the big 30-yard catch by Drakowski, and Shelton again running it in. And 17-0 was not insurmountable for Oak Creek, but they needed to stop coming out of the halftime locker room, didn't get it, and then Franklin they repeated what they did in the first half, scoring 21 points, 3 touchdowns, and that was that. And that young man will continue to work. Only a sophomore. They love his athleticism, the way he responds to the coaching he's been getting this season. Under a minute left. Nate Schaff. Nice run up the middle. Schaff's another big-time baseballer.
Yeah.
Scott Holler.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Game must be over because Rick Astley has jumped in on the speakers here. Everyone's getting Rick-rolled. Well, Franklin, that should be the last play. They didn't Rick-roll Oak Creek, but they steamrolled the Knights. No question about it. A no doubter here on the road. 4.4 miles away. And the rivalry continues with a convincing Sabres victory. Lewis Brown and his team remain unbeaten. Moving to 6-0, perfect in Southeast Conference play. They get the leg up on the conference title. If they can continue to run the table, it will be theirs after the win to break the first place tie tonight with the Oak Creek Knights. Final is 41-0, Dan. And yeah, man is right. Not much more to say, right?
Impressive Franklin football team.
when we come back on the Thursday Night Throwdown, we will throw it down for our Jolly Good Soda Player of the Game. John Pearson is in hot pursuit, so don't go away.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all, the advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
I think when anybody comes onto our farm, they see how family-oriented we are. Having the 3 generations all at one dinner table, it's just a really fun time to spend as a family. I would love to see them someday taking over the farm as well. You know, that's a farmer's ultimate dream, to see it pass on to the hands of the next generation.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
All right, let's go, baby. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter.
Well, there it is.
Nobody ever drowned.
The helmet trophy.
Let's go, baby.
In the helmet trophy game. And it returns. It was here at Oak Creek after the Knights were winners on the road at Franklin a year ago. It goes back to Franklin after they win it in convincing fashion, 41-0. Time now for our Jolly Good Soda Player of the Game. Crack open the good times and savor the flavor with Jolly Good Soda. They put the pop in Wisconsin. We put the pop in John Pearson.
Well, if we picked everybody that was outstanding for Franklin tonight, it would turn into a telethon. The defense was unbelievable, but we just had some incredible plays tonight. So we got 2 Jolly Good Players of the Game, and we're going to start with Terrence Shelton. Let's talk about this one. What was going on out there? I think we were all expecting a tight game, great rivalry, and you were able to take charge even when they seemed to have you in trouble at times. 3rd and long. Big play. What was going on with you guys?
You know, we always expect rivalries to be close, but, you know, we executed the game plan. We got our receivers open. Pass game opened up the run game, and then we executed the plays.
Okay, you had 3 touchdowns, and yet it wasn't a lock that you're the player of the game. Talk about your defense, that the job they did, it was a different name every play. Talk about the defense and then the way you guys responded to the way they played.
Most definitely. We couldn't have done it without the defense. The defense been holding it down for us all year, you know, holding them to 0 points. We needed that, and they had a great game for us.
Okay, you guys are going to be talked about a little more now. You okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, and Dylan, a couple of amazing catches, but there were a lot of guys doing that tonight. The weird part about this one, every time they seem to have you 3rd and long, you guys would make a play. I mean, 3rd and 33, and you get pick up 31 yards. But the plays you guys made and the way you spread the wealth on offense, talk about that a little bit.
I mean, without our O-line, they did a really good job today. I want to thank them. And Joey Calais, he played really good. And we're just going out there and making plays.
And how important is it that you guys root for each other? You could be thinking, I want to be the star receiver. You had a couple of early big plays, but yet every time anybody made a play, everybody ran to celebrate with them.
We just love each other. We love each other. We're all brothers out here. We're all brothers.
All right, and I think they agree with you. Okay, and what is the goal? Obviously, you don't want to talk too much, but what is the goal and what can this team accomplish?
We're running it back. We're running it back. We're running it back.
And, of course, that is a Jolly Good response because we're sponsored by Jolly Good. I'm being really clever there, guys. Franklin wins big. It's a blowout in one of the biggest rivalries in the state.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Sabres. And the celebration is on with the hardware. Dan Brunner, the way the Sabres played tonight, you heard Dylan say we're running it back. He means 2021 when the Sabres went the distance, won another state championship. The way they have played tonight, you get the feeling they have a chance to run it back, don't they?
Well, they've got, and you alluded to this earlier, Bob. They've got people that played in that game. You know, they've got a level of confidence that you don't find in your average high school football team. I mean, they're confident, and you know, they've got all the pieces to do it. So, you know, I'd have that attitude if I were them as well.
Yeah, big win for the Sabres in Week 6. Week 7, it's only a week away. We're going to head north, Dan and I and the crew, for a Thursday night showdown between Little Chute and Freedom. Dial us up on the YouTube channel as per usual. 7 p.m. is the kickoff there from Freedom High School. That'll do it from Oak Creek High School. For Dan Brunner, for John Pearson, for our great crew on hand here in the OC, Bob Brainerd saying so long from the helmet game. Once again, the final score, Franklin takes the trophy home. They win it 41-0. You've been watching the Thursday Night Throwdown on WSN. We'll see you next week from Freedom, Wisconsin.